Hi, and welcome back. I'm here today to talk to you very briefly about your first research paper, the R1 project. By now you've had a chance to look over the assignment sheet, and before you start writing, I hope you'll look it over at least one more time. It's not a complicated project, but there are some pretty clear guidelines that you need to follow. The due date is Thursday, September 28th, which I know seems like a long way away. Trust me, it'll be here before you know it. I encourage you to get started on it now and kind of work through the writing process. Now, this is a research paper, but I don't want you to do any outside research. I don't want you to look on the internet or go to the library. Just use the play as your only source. Then pick one of the 3 topics listed and write about it. Be sure that your thesis, the main idea of the paper, which is also the last sentence of the introduction, clearly answers the research question. For example, if I were doing the third one, which is a better foil for Prince Hamlet, Laertes, or Horatio, and why, then my thesis would be something like, Laertes is the better foil for Prince Hamlet because of the sharp contrast in his characteristics. And then I have 3 paragraphs that focus, each one focuses on one sharp contrast that Horatio or Laertes has with Prince Hamlet, and then explain how. Now you have to pick a quote from the play that supports that. For example, well, a very common observation is that Laertes is quick to action. And at one point, Hamlet even says, I wish I were more like Laertes. I wish I were quicker to take action. I wish I was quick to get revenge like my friend Laertes. So pick, for example, one of those quotes that shows the sharp contrast between the 2 characters, then explain how it shows the sharp contrast. You may need to provide a little context. Who's talking to who in that scene? What are they talking about? How does it show contrast? What is Hamlet normally like, or how does normally Hamlet see himself? And then, of course, a short, direct quote from the play, 40 lines or less, which is then followed immediately with an in-text citation. Normally, an in-text citation has just the author's name and the page number, according to MLA, but since this is a play, we're going to have the author's last name followed by the act number, the scene number, and the line number. Okay, so in the parentheses, immediately following your direct quote, you're going to put Shakespeare, Act 3, Scene 2, line 12. Close parentheses, period. Look at the example on the sample papers. I've posted 2 sample papers for you to look at. Just follow the examples there. Then after you have your introduction, 3 body paragraphs and a conclusion, then you're going to have a works cited page. Now, it's part of the same document, but it's on a page by itself. Easiest way to do that is just hit Control-Enter on your keyboard, and it will give you a hard page break. Now, there was some confusion with the textbook at the beginning of the semester because I ordered the wrong one. Sorry. Well, actually, I ordered the right one, but I listed the wrong one on the syllabus. Anyway, this semester we're using the 14th edition, which doesn't have Hamlet in it, so therefore I encourage you to either buy a freestanding copy or find an online version, but each one of those would be done differently on the works cited page. So just to simplify matters, I have given you the works cited page from last semester, the one we used last semester, which is the Norton Introduction to Literature 13th edition. And you can just copy and paste it. It's just the author's last name, the name of the play in italics, the name of the textbook in italics, the editor, the publisher, the date, and then the page numbers. And that's it. Pretty straightforward. It is double spaced, and it has a hanging indent, which means the first line is flush left and all the other lines are indented 5 spaces. But to do well on this paper, there's one thing you've got to be sure of. No factual errors. Read the play carefully and don't make these misstatements of fact. I think the example I gave earlier was when Gertrude killed Ophelia, she did it out of love. Well, that's a major error because Gertrude never kills Ophelia. So be sure to read the play carefully and make sure that your paper demonstrates that mastery of the material. It's one of the things I'll be graded on. There's a list of helpful hints at the bottom. I encourage you to read over that, follow that carefully. And if you have any questions about the research paper as you're writing it, let me know. I'm happy to help.